This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Sanjay Pinto. If cephologists got it all wrong in the Tamil Nadu election, most journalists misread the DMK chief's mind over his alliance with the Congress. There was speculation that the party would divorce the Congress or at least pull out its ministers from the government at the centre. But today's high-level committee meet, the DMK ended in an anti-climax. The party's 7-year relationship with the Congress stays the way it is. But has Karunanidhi merely deferred a decision to snap ties? Because the question may resurface yet again, we are told, at a General Council meeting next month. Or is this a climb down following strong advice from leaders like his elder son and Union Minister Alagiri not to rock the boat at a time when Jayalalitha is firmly in the saddle in Tamil Nadu? We'll try and answer all those questions for you with our correspondents who've been in the thick of this big story. Lokpriya Vasudevan, who's been right there at the DMK office tracking that big meeting. She's been there all day, in fact, but that's in a couple of minutes after the headlines with Evelyn Matthew. Evelyn?
Thanks very much, Sanjay. A quick look at what's been making headlines at this hour. The DMK will not pull out of the UPA. Karunanidhi says the party will fight the 2G case legally and is not disappointed with the Congress for not helping. The DMK will hold public meetings from the 20th of this month to explain its position in the 2G case. The General Council to take a call on its ties with the Congress. The Madras High Court says implement the uniform system syllabus this academic year. Gives the state government power to modify or delete content. After the syllabus, the focus shifts to the fee structure. The Justice Raviraj Pandian committee will release the new fee structure in 3 days. After Swaran Singh was shunted out of the electricity board in a few days, another top officer is transferred. Ramesh Ram Mishra is the new Home Secretary. Jayalalitha pulls the plug on Karunanidhi's signature free colour television scheme. The scrapping of the project is announced in the Assembly. And 2G accused Rajya Sabha MP Kannimuri goes to the Supreme Court for bail after being denied bail twice already. A quick look at what else is making news across the country and the world over. With his blood pressure dropping and an affected liver, Baba Ramdev ends his fast at a Dehradun hospital. A US court finds David Headley's accomplice Tawahud Rana not guilty of involvement in the 26/11 attacks on Mumbai. India says it's disappointed with the Rana verdict. The National Investigative Agency will decide on filing charge sheets against Headley and Rana. 10 policemen killed in a landmine attack in Dantewada. Input suggests Maoist activity had increased in the area. Shah Rukh Khan remembers the legendary M.F. Hussain, regrets not meeting him one final time. Over to the top story we're tracking this evening. Over to my executive editor, Sanjay Pinto.
Thank you, Evelyn. Well, the DMK's decision to not pull out of the government has come as a surprise, at least to journalists, but Karunanidhi says that it's the media which actually misinterpreted his remarks, particularly that comment in Thiruvarur. Now, this decision to stay with the alliance was taken at that meeting. You can see those visuals on your screen, presided by the party chief, Mr. Karunanidhi. And of course, the party has also decided to hold a series of public meetings between the 20th of June and the 30th. And of course, a General Council would be held next month, as we said, in July. Now, the DMK, as we know, has come under fire in the 2G scam. First, it was A. Raja who had to resign. Then he was arrested. Then, of course, Kannimuri was charge sheeted as a co-conspirator in the 2G case. And now, more recently, even Dayanidhi Maran has come under the CBI scanner for his role as a telecom minister before A. Raja. So, clearly, the DMK in a state of turmoil, but fighting back, really not taking any hasty decision at this stage. Let's go across to my colleague Lokpriya, who's been right there. Lokpriya, I want to put you on the spot and ask you, who changed Karunanidhi's mind really? Was his mind made up before the meeting to actually, was he in a mood to actually snap ties with the Congress? Who changed his mind? Was it Alagiri?
Well, yes, Sanjay, the fact is that the DMK is a divided house when it comes to its decision with the Congress alliance. But the final decision rests with Karunanidhi. And it seems that the Karunanidhi went ahead with his elder son's advice that cutting ties with Congress at this point of time will prove extremely detrimental to the party, because if they do so, then they have to face a very hostile government at the state. And if they snap the ties, there are all possibilities that Jayalalitha might tie up with the Congress in the centre, and that will prove extreme. It will be a double whammy of sorts for the DMK over here. So in keeping all that in mind, they thought that it will be only effective that if they continue to be in alliance with the Congress at the centre. So extremely cautious move by Karunanidhi at this point of time, because remember, everybody is kind of waiting to see who will make that first move, because more so in the Congress camp, they want the DMK to make the first move. But again, at this point of time, the DMK has put the ball back in the Congress's court. The DMK has firmly said that their alliance with the Congress stays. So again, putting the ball back on the Congress's court.
Let me ask you a very simple question which must be on the minds of most of our viewers here. On the one hand, the DMK had earlier said that it would fight the case legally. Then Karunanidhi expressed some sort of disappointment earlier. Now, of course, he's gone on record to say that he's not disappointed with the Congress. The Congress all along had said that they in fact can do nothing about this case. Although when Karunanidhi went to New Delhi and did not meet Sonia Gandhi, a break from his tradition of 7-year alliance with the Congress, he has never come away from Delhi without meeting Sonia Gandhi. Sonia Gandhi then rushing her emissaries, P. Chidambaram, Jayanti Natarajan, Ghulam Nabi Azad. Ghulam Nabi Azad also saying that Sonia Gandhi is very upset and is sad that Kanimuri is in prison, but then the Congress can really do nothing about this, because the case is being investigated by the CBI and the case is being monitored by the Supreme Court. So, what exactly is playing on Mr. Karunanidhi's mind? What does he want the Congress to do at this stage? And has he merely deferred that decision to review ties with the Congress to July at that General Council meeting? Is he buying time in a sense, waiting for the outcome perhaps of the bail application of Kanimuri in the Supreme Court, which was filed today?
Well, Sanjay, when Karunanidhi went to Delhi to meet his daughter Kanimuri, when all the reporters over there asked him of why he did not meet Sonia Gandhi, he said it will not be appropriate because his purpose of visit is to meet his daughter, and the visit to Sonia Gandhi will not be appropriate. That's the reason he gave at that point of time. And he says that these kind of decisions, that is the decision regarding the alliance, will be taken at the General Council meeting of the DMK and not something that will be taken at this particular high-level meeting. So in a sense, he is buying time. That's what political analysts are saying at this point of time.
Are you saying that the question of alliance with the Congress is still under review?
Yes, Sanjay, it will be under review, at least that's what sources are telling us. But however, party chief Karunanidhi today said that I am not setting any kind of deadline with the Congress. Why do you people keep asking me this question? So that's the question he asked the journalists back when we asked him whether he is buying time. But he clearly said that I am not keeping any deadline with the Congress. It's you people that who asks me this question, expect me to say something. So clearly there he firmly says that he is not having any deadline of sorts and he is not buying. But sources are indicating that this is kind of a review, that the alliance is being put on review, especially because that Supreme Court verdict is yet to come, Sanjay. So that perhaps will actually give a whole lot of spin to this whole issue.
Alright, Lokpriya, stay with us. We'll also try and play out that bite of Karunanidhi, an excerpt from that press conference. Karunanidhi, in fact, is he doing a U-turn here in this case, or did we all get it wrong as journalists? Because he says now, forget what he had said, in fact, at his birthday message to the cadre, that he said bad friendship could lead to trouble. Also, what was said at the Tiruvarur Thanksgiving meet, where at least most of the media reported that as a sort of indirect attack on the centre for not doing enough to help Kanimuri, for actually Kanimuri's plight in this case. But listen to what Karunanidhi has to say about his stand vis-a-vis the Congress, particularly in the 2G case.
காங்கிரஸ் பத்திரிகையில 2G ஊழல் தான் இந்த தோல்விக்கு காரணம்ன்ற மாதிரி எழுதி இருக்காங்க.
இந்த பத்திரிகையில
காங்கிரஸ் அதிகாரத்தை ஏற்றியே திமுக தோல்விக்கு காரணம் ஸ்பெக்ட்ரம் பிரச்சனை எழுதி இருக்காங்க. அதுவும் கருத்துனையா
ஸ்பெக்ட்ரம் பிரச்சனையை பூதாகாரமாக சில சேதவான்கள், சில பொறாமைக்காரர்கள் ஊதிவிட்ட காரணத்தால் இருக்கலாம். அதைத்தான் சொல்லியிருப்பார்கள்.
தோல்விக்கு காரணமா இல்லையா சார்?
இல்லை, உயிரிழக்க தோல்விக்கு முக்கியமான காரணம் பார்ப்பனர்களுடைய பிரச்சனை தான்.
All right, Lokpriya, you were there at that press conference, at least part of it. Give us a sense of Karunanidhi's mood. In politics, especially in political reporting, it's not just what you say, but also what you look like. So we often, as political journalists, read between the lines, and one way to read between the lines is to read body language. What was Karunanidhi's mood like at that press conference?
Well, Sanjay, even when Karunanidhi came into to attend that particular high-level meeting, he was extremely calm and composed. Not only Karunanidhi, but also all the leaders, they were seen cracking jokes and they were seen smiling. So, extremely calm and composed, not a sense of jitter or not a sense of anxiousness that was shown on their face. They were extremely calm and composed, and their leader expressed the same. When he got out of his car and went into that room to attend that high-level meet, he was calm and composed, and he maintained this particular mood throughout the press conference, only for a little bit when he lost his cool, especially when journalists continued to press on the CBI report and also about Kanimuri's bail plea. He lost his cool for about 2 minutes or so, and he retorted saying back, why do you people keep pressing this CBI case? Why don't you all ask about the Samachir Kalvi, the High Court's verdict on Samachir Kalvi? Why don't you ask me about that? Why don't you people do not have Tamil Unarchi? That's what he said. So only for about 2 minutes or so he lost his cool, but immediately he recouped and he became calm, composed once again. So clearly they're perturbed that the media is hounding him when it comes to the CBI case and the Kanimuri, but again being very, very careful that he does not let out any kind of signals so as that will go out misinterpreted, Sanjay.
All right, the interesting points there you're making, Lokpriya, but also the fact that Ms. Jayalalitha is slated to go to New Delhi, we are told, next week, and there's always the risk of if the DMK had to pull out at this stage, to pull the plug, that Ms. Jayalalitha with her 9 MPs could have very easily replaced the DMK at the centre. Was this also one of the factors that weighed on Karunanidhi's mind, which is why he's decided to, if not completely give up the plan to sever ties, but at least to defer the decision?
Yes, Sanjay, we can't quote it that way also, because this particular Jayalalitha's meeting that is planned to happen next week, in a sense, Karunanidhi is now waiting to watch, because if he pulls the plug at this point of time, it will prove extremely detrimental to him and his party, because if he pulls the plug now, then Jayalalitha will definitely seize this particular opportunity and will make sure that she goes with the Congress. So that is something that will prove very costly for the DMK at this point of time. So Karunanidhi again here waiting, playing this game of waiting and watching and then carefully taking a decision. Everybody knows that Karunanidhi is a man who does not take decisions in haste, and he carefully weighs every decision that he makes, and especially so this particular decision was everybody was waiting with bated breath to find out what his decision is. So in fact it did turn out to be an anticlimax, but however the political Chanakya that Karunanidhi is perhaps something is cooking up in his mind, and he sure is to let out what that is in a few days from now. Especially that particular SC's verdict on Kanimuri will change a lot of things, Sanjay.
All right. Also, what about Dayanidhi Maran? Of course, the demand for his resignation. Dayanidhi Maran, of course, defending himself stoutly, saying that he did not arm to Sivashankaran to sell Aircel. There was no wrongdoing on his part. Also refuting allegations that he had a private telephone exchange in his residence. What was Karunanidhi's response to a question on Dayanidhi Maran?
Well, Sanjay, when journalists posed questions about Dayanidhi Maran, he said that Dayanidhi Maran will speak for himself and that he need not speak for Dayanidhi Maran, and he said that the CBI is investing the case, and he also quoted that the CBI themselves have said that this is a 6-year-old case. So he did not comment anything more on that. So not really willing to go up on that.
Sorry to interrupt you, Lokpriya. Did you get the impression that he was, because earlier a section of the media had reported that in fact Maran was being sort of isolated, that he in fact left Maran on his own to fend for himself. Did you get that impression?
Yes, Sanjay, because 2 days back when he attended a party cadres function, at that point of time also when journalists asked this question about the Maran, he said the same thing. He said that Maran will speak for himself, and later on that day in early morning when I asked Karunanidhi, he said I do not know, and the next thing he said, the next press conference when he spoke to reporters, he said that Maran will speak for himself, and that's the same thing he is repeating at this point of time also. So in a way carefully distancing himself and letting Maran answer the face this particular problem, and not exactly, he is not going to step into that shoes.
Did Maran answer that at the press conference after that? Did you get a chance to ask Dayanidhi Maran this?
Well, no, Sanjay, none of the ministers were available for comments. As soon as the press conference was over, everyone left. And
all right.
we were not
let's
really,
also try and listen in. We've got that. We've got Karunanidhi's take on Dayanidhi Maran on that specific question. Let's listen in.
நீங்க முயற்சி பண்ணா கலக்கலாம். ஆனால் உண்மையா அல்லவா என்பதை சிபிஐ விசாரிக்கும். சிபிஐ இப்பொழுது அதை பற்றி 6 ஆண்டு காலம் ஆகிவிட்ட விஷயம் இது என்று சிபிஐ கூறியிருக்கிறது. தயாநிதி மாறனுக்கு தெரியாது, பதில் சொல்ல நான் சொல்ல வேண்டிய அவசியம் இல்லை, அவரே சொல்லுவார் என்று அந்த கருத்து சொல்லப்பட்டதை தவிர நீங்க கலகம் மூட்டுவதை போல தயாநிதி மாறனை அவருக்கும் தகராறு விளைவிச்சுக்கிறோம் ஒன்றால் முடியாது.
All right, judging by the body language, he's clearly not upset with Dhananthi Maran in any way. That's at least the impression one gets. Karunanidhi is saying that Dhananthi Maran is in the best position to really answer those allegations, those questions on whether he will resign or whether he should resign or not. But we leave the DMK news for now, and there's other big news most students and parents and teachers and schools will be waiting for. All that and more with Evelyn Matthew on that big judgment today from the Madras High Court on the uniform syllabus. A lot of things stay here, including the uniform syllabus, not just the DMK and the Alliance. Evelyn.
Thanks very much, Sanjay. Let's get you that story right away. Well, the judgment over the uniform syllabus for schools in the state was out today, according to which the system will have to be implemented by this year itself. The Madras High Court has also stayed the amendment to the Uniform System of Education Act. It has also been announced that the government will now have the power to delete propaganda material in the curriculum. Jayalalitha had in fact put the uniform syllabus on hold, following which the AIA-DMK government had formed a committee to revise the common syllabus. Meanwhile, the Justice Ravi Rajapandian committee is expected to come out with the fee structure that's up in 3 days from now on the 13th of June. And our education reporter Krishnamurthy gave us more of his inputs and the impact it will really have at the ground level schools here in the state.
It's a shot in the arm for all the educationalists who have been campaigning for the uniform syllabus of education. The High Court coming out with the order that the system has to be implemented this year. Now, I have the judgment copy with me. Now, the High Court says, in fact, says that the amended act, which was taken, the decision which was taken by the government this year in the current assembly session, has been stayed. It was taken in haste, and therefore it's null and void. Now, the High Court said that the decision of the government will have to be altered, and but then the High Court has also mentioned that the government has complete powers to go ahead and delete, modify and substitute any of the content which they feel is not required for in the syllabus, which is the uniform syllabus, which is going to be implemented for all the students this year. Now, they also said that the High Court won't come in the way of the high level committee which the government promised to keep and to look into the syllabus which is existent and modify any changes which they want to hear hence after. Now, the bigger question in fact now comes to as to will the schools reopen on time. Now, the state government decided that the schools will reopen on June 15. With just 5 more days to go, is it really possible for them to reopen the schools on time? Will they be able to print all the books on time? Now, many of the educationists who said that this is really possible since 200 crores has already been spent on printing of books from class 1 and 10, and the printing of and wouldn't take more than 2 or 3 days to provide all the books to schools so that the books reach the schools in time, and students can in fact go to schools and from June 15 and collect all these books. So what we need to look into is will the government now file a counter for the decision of the High Court? This is a big question which we need to wait, and let's take a look at what kind of decision the government is going to take with the decision which was provided by the High Court today.
We also caught up with education activist Gajendra Babu, who had once said that putting the system on hold was actually flimsy and evasive. Here's what he had to say in reaction today.
The Madras High Court, after considering the various aspects and taking the welfare of the students in its mind, has stayed the operation of Section 3. It is really a welcome move, because 4 kinds of stream in the school education is against social justice. So we wanted a common syllabus. We all know that common syllabus itself cannot become an equitable standard education. Still, common syllabus is a step forward, a step towards achieving the Samachir Kalvi or equitable standard education. In that way, this is a most welcome judgment of the Madras High Court.
Well, Ndtv-Hindu went out to gather reactions from the parents and the students community after that development. It was more or less, from what we hear, a mixed reaction. Let's listen in.
Matriculation students will be feeling difficult when they see these words of state board students and state board studies, and state board students will feel different when they see matriculation words. And even the chance of BC students in BC community will get lesser chance than before.
See, one thing is we are not into the international standards. If the person is going from here to other countries and other things, they find it difficult. Only thing is that should aim to eliminate all these things. Again, I reiterate the fact that intention is good, implementation is poor.
If it is implemented for the +2 also, it will help the students, because students studying in CBSE, they are not able to get into engineering colleges, whereas the state board students, they have more opportunities.
Well, while some say it's a welcome move, some hoping that it will do the talking once it does get implemented. We'll slip into a very short break at this hour, but we'll be back with more news and updates.